Hello and welcome to this best of 3 series between Enticity and xNavigator in Warhammer League 2. This is round 1, and be sure to like and subscribe for more games, and let's get into it. So, we have the cool faction this time. We have Ent on Empire, and he's again playing his classic style. Come on. Come on, Elspeth, finish your little motivation speech. Okay, that was pretty short. So we have another classic Ant build, very similar to what was played between what was it, Attack Speed and Maximilianaire, I believe, in the previous league, right? He's going double engineer for the mercurial shots, which basically delete infantry, right? Their penetration is so high, it just kills anything. A quad war wagon build, so he's gonna go again for a bunch of mobility and just skirmish you to death. We have Elspeth on horse for Spirit Leech and Doom and Darkness. She's a great caster. She definitely should take her. And also a Empire Knight squad. Because Empire basically doesn't have a proper caster lord, they don't have like a basic generic wizard lord, you're kind of stuck either going metal or death with Elspeth, right? And usually when you see people going for Elspeth, Elspeth is on her like freaking dragon, and the dragon just goes for the deletion breath and is super annoying. Like Opal loves that style of play, and if you just look away from your lord for 1 second, you just insta die. So he's going in again, going to capture the objectives and then play the trading game until he can summon probably some like great swords or something in the back to clean up the rest of the infantry. And he probably also has something like a demi, etc. On the other side, we have the Great Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. This guy is the cheapest thing in existence. And yeah, he's just going to be spamming fireballs into either Elspeth or some of the engineers. I feel like if I were a betting man and I was on the side of Navi playing Norsca, which is a good faction into this type of style, I would have bet that Ant was gonna go for something like this. And honestly, seeing a full army of bearmen, man, I think this is just a bad pick into Ant. Because this makes sense to go into like a normal style unit. And what a crazy play over here. He actually goes in and blocks the fireball with the Knights of the Blazing Sun. These guys should have fire resistance. Why don't they have fire resistance? So, if I were a betting man, I would say that Ent was probably going to go for this type of army. And just to finish this off before I turn on a rant, horsemen for capturing objectives and skirmishing. So what I would do is basically open up with 2 skin wolves, a Kurgan horseman, and then a couple of marauder horsemen for myself potentially, and then just skin wolves, man, and just chase him down, because you know it's gonna be like double engineer and war wagons. And then, oh my god, grenade launchers. He's just saying, I'm not going to summon a single infantry unit until I get all of the value out of my guys. And no, they're just getting shot at. Please, Navi, move them. Navi, please save your horsemen. They're not expendable units. So yeah, this is kind of a mismatch when it comes to army. Beast of Tashnar, for example, like Beast of Tashnar, good unit. Because even though he has a bunch of infantry that has like 11k HP, that is just going to be walking forward, Ant, man, like, you're not going to be outplaying Ant when it comes to that type of thing. He's just going to start farming you, and if you don't push his head into the toilet when it comes to his spawn, he's just going to keep trading and keep trading and keep trading, right? And these guys aren't going to run out of ammo. Why? Because the engineers actually have restock. So he's just going to stand there, and this is a shooting gallery, like the absolute dream of every war wagon player is a bearman standing in front of them, just like shooting targets, and then just being shot at infinitely by like the war wagons, Elspeth, and the engineers, and like again double grenade launchers. What a madman! If he just has like 2 Empire Knights, this is a great example of why you should start off with mobility. Like, not full mobility like Ant does it, of course, but unless you're Ant. But like, you do need, if he started with just mobility, with the grenade launchers as well, if if Navi, I don't know why I keep saying attack speed. So if Navi basically went for a full mobility core, there would have been not enough things to stop the war wagons from shooting, or the war wagons being compromised. But here, he just has 2 Empire Knights screening for everything here, and the rest of the army is just there to support him. And also, look at this. Like, this is a random tip to all of you. If you're looking at his army right now, everything here isn't even fighting, right? This is what? 600, 650, 570, 650, 650, 570, 570, etc. All of those units are basically doing nothing. And what is Ant doing? Just fighting on one flank, right? And he's just basically killing you over time. And by the time these guys now start moving towards the rest of the game and trying to engage, like, Ant is just gonna, like, restock. Like, he just used restock on these 2 war wagons, right? And they're just full. Man, they're having the time of their lives. They're just in a shooting gallery, already having 500 value. Only thing that he's missing now is another knight, right? Because he's gonna chase stuff off the battlefield. He's gonna have a beautiful time just having something that also screens the other unit, and then he's just gonna move over through the actual formation and start killing the rest of the bearmen. Like, however many Kurgan you now summon, there isn't a, like, how do you say this, a overwhelming force, or like a critical point that is available to actually push over and fight into Ent's blob. And because of this, he now has a death ball that is just going to snowball through the rest of the units. And yeah, you see Navi is now scared because he understands that this death ball cannot be stopped with just a single unit or two. And it is just, oh my god, look at that mercurial shot, man. It killed 40 models of bearmen, of all things. My god, what a disgusting ability. If Empire is ever good, the first thing people will complain is the engineers, man. Like, nothing else on Empire seems like it is super, super crazy except the engineers. And because Empire is just such a mediocre faction right now, nobody's complaining about the engineers. But man, does that penetration need a nerf? It just enables such crazy things like this. And yeah, look at this. Navi just basically has 3 units, semi-units, but there's such a huge blob from Ant's side that even if all of the war wagons were to charge into the Kurgan horsemen and the Beasts of Tashnar, they would have probably lost on the charge. He's just still having nothing to do. He's just potentially, what he's thinking is like, okay, if I hunker down with infinite HP on 2 of the objectives, Ant is just not going to have enough time to DPS, to get like DPS checked basically for the side of Ant. He just keeps spamming the fireballs into them, hoping, oh my god, that went through a tree. Just hoping that he can kill the war wagons over time, but it just isn't enough damage, man. And he's gonna, if I were a betting man, I would also, oh my god, again, another mercurial shot, basically killing 25 bearmen. And he still has 1, right? Oh no, that was the last one from this engineer. What about this guy? He still has 1 more, and he's just shooting into the Great Shaman. I would not be surprised if very soon here, when this type of charge is basically killed from the side of Navi, if we see a tap out. Because this is a complete mismatch when it comes to the army. Just a pure kite slash mobility style versus a pure HP style. Even though bearmen are probably the best unit that you can do this with the entire game, I don't feel like this is enough. So, whoops, debug camera, please. And we're just gonna speed up here because it's not enough when it comes to the Kurgan horsemen just being rallied. Yeah, look, even the Kurgan horsemen are being bullied. And it is definitely going to end very soon, especially when he starts capturing the rest of the objectives. The usual way that Ent likes to play this is just let your opponent get to like 500 or 800 tickets, capture with your blob. Until then, you just value trade, right? He's 3.5k ahead. There's no healing on either side, so that is fine. But gets a lot of value ahead. Then he pushes specifically to capture one of the objectives to relieve the pressure of time on himself. And then after that, when he basically army wipes you or gets a high enough lead, like 4,000 value, for example, he then pushes in for the second and third objective cap and then starts summoning in, there we go, the actual infantry. So great swords are going to trade great into bearmen. They're just going to murder them. They have great bonuses versus infantry. They're also a bit armored, so they're going to have a great time here. Though there is a little misplay here from the side of Ent potentially, just getting caught out by the Empire Knights. The Empire Knights are basically caught, and then, oh, very nice Doom and Darkness to actually break the Kurgan Horsemen, because they were just very, very close to being saved, but they actually break and then are just going to run off the battlefield to the side here. Same for the Norscan Ice Wolves. They're just Ice Wolves, man. They don't have that special sort of leadership. And over here, Bearmen, even though they're ITP, they're not immune to damage, and Lord fled recently. Faster and stronger enemies nearby attacked in the flank under missile fire. Basically the whole shebang. And Ant just captures the third objective as well. Now completely relieving his own army from when it comes to the time pressure. And he basically at this point has the side of Navi completely tabled. So quite the unfortunate showing from Navi when it comes to the army just that he brought, because this is like a standard army into the standard Empire player. But man, if you are facing Ent, you do know that there is going to be a bunch of mobility that you have to contest. And oh my god, he had no skin wolves in his entire build. That is omega ballsy into Ent especially, because none of these things actually have the ability to kill skin wolves except for the Knights of the Blazing Sun, right? They can get shot at, of course, but if you get a, let's say, a Norscan Ice Wolf onto them, and then a Skin Wolf to connect with its plus 30 attack versus large, bonus versus large, they are going to do some damage. Elspeth just casted a couple of Spirit Leeches and then spammed Doom and Darkness. Engineers basically paid for themselves on their mechanical horses or normal horses. And then Knights of the Blazing Sun just there to screen alongside the Empire Cav. And yeah, these were the carry pieces. Like all of them still kept all of their models by the end of the game. Other than that, it was just the grenades clearing out the rest of them. And yeah, classic Ent build. He has double great swords in the back just for capture weight, and then a good fighting unit as well. A couple of Empire Knights just to screen out, Reichsguard to again screen out, Demis for another source of terror if needed, is very nice addition. And on the side of Navi, we basically had the Shaman Sorcerer of Fire. You just kept spamming fireballs. That's where his value came from. Nice try, because that can potentially kill the models of the War Wagons, but it just takes such a long time for them to do it. And then Bearman, man, the poor Bearman, 4 value, 1 value. What did he do? Who did he hit to get 1 value? These guys had 0 value. Oh my god. A classic bullying strat. 3 value, crazy. 1000 value. These guys actually fought something. And then dead with 0 value. Oh my god. Poor horsemen as well. We saw that absolute massacre onto them at the start of the game. And the Kurgan, they tried their best, man. It just wasn't enough. They didn't have the death ball that they needed. He should have probably just swapped the starting army and the reinforcement army. If he started with this, there would have been a 100% chance that he catches at least one of the two wagons, or kills the screening units before Ant can actually summon something in, right? Because Ice Wolves are there to slow down, and then Kurgan are there to kill, and or the Skin Wolves are there to kill. And there just isn't enough of a need for stuff like Bearman in this specific matchup, especially when you're fighting Ent. Cool game. I'll see you in the next series. 2-0 to Enticity in this one.